The real Candyman Dean Corll. It was the early 1970s, a time of peace, long hair, and neighborhood trust. In Houston, Texas, kids roamed the streets freely, riding bikes, visiting friends, and stopping by a friendly man's house for candy. They called him the Candyman. His name was Dean Corll. Dean worked at his family's small candy factory. He handed out treats to local children, and neighbors described him as quiet, polite, even generous. But behind that kind smile was something far darker, something Houston would never forget. Between 1970 and 1973, teenagers began disappearing from Houston's Heights neighborhood. Mostly boys, some runaways, some not, and police assumed they'd simply left home. But they hadn't run away. They had been invited by Dean Corll. He promised them parties, drinks, and a place to crash. Sometimes even cash. To them, he seemed like the cool older guy, someone they could trust. And that's how the trap was set. Corll wasn't alone. He recruited two teenage boys, David Brooks and Elmer Wayne Henley, luring them in with money, cars, and gifts. At first, they thought they were helping Dean scare people, but soon they learned the truth, and they became part of it. For 3 years, the trio abducted, tortured, and murdered young boys. Victims ranged from 13 to 20. Some were even friends of Henley and Brooks, kids they personally knew. Inside Dean Corll's small home, the walls hid unspeakable horrors. He built a plywood torture board, complete with handcuffs and ropes. Neighbors heard nothing. The boys were restrained, tortured, and eventually killed. Their bodies were buried in multiple places: a rented boat shed, a beach, and the woods outside Houston. By the time it was over, the number of victims would shock even veteran investigators. In August 1973, everything changed. 17-year-old Elmer Wayne Henley invited a friend and a girl to Corll's house. When Dean found out, he snapped. Furious that Henley had brought a female into his private space, he tied up all 3 teens, and then he turned on Henley. In that moment, something broke. Henley begged for his life, and when Corll turned away, Henley grabbed a pistol. He shot Dean Corll 6 times, ending years of horror in a single night. When police arrived, Henley confessed everything. He led officers to the shallow graves, and what they uncovered was unimaginable. 28 boys. Most had been missing for years. Families finally got answers, but Houston's innocence was gone forever. To this day, the Houston mass murders remain one of the most horrifying serial crimes in American history. And yet, few remember the name Dean Corll. They called him the Candyman because he gave free candy to children and hid monsters in plain sight. His house was torn down long ago, but locals say the ground never felt right again. Some who walk near the old neighborhood swear they can still smell the sweetness of candy. And something else, rotting just beneath the surface. Evil doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it wears a smile and offers you candy.